Hi, folks. Steve Urban here, host of the Riderflex podcast and founder and CEO of our day job recruiting firm, Riderflex. We hope you enjoy this episode. And as a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast for updates and news. If you haven't already, check out the series of books we've published on hiring, interviewing, and overall career advice titled The Riderflex Guide. And finally, today's episode is brought to you by Class 6 Partners. Are you ready to sell your business or raise capital? Class 6 Partners guides you through the entire process, from business optimization to securing the perfect deal. With over $3 billion in transactions, they turn your business dreams into reality. Visit class6partners.com to start your journey today. All right, Tom Verboven on the Riderflex podcast. Hello, Tom. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you, Steve. Happy to be here.
Thank you for joining me. Great career, interesting career. Can't wait to get into the business side of it. But first, tell me about Tom, the person. I want to know, where you grew up, parents, family, stuff like that. Yeah, give me some background if you don't mind.
Okay, no, I don't mind at all. Um, Grew up in Belgium,
Okay.
in a rather small town, Antwerp. Not sure if you're familiar. Very close to the Dutch border.
Okay.
Um, Pretty middle class family, nothing out of the ordinary. Two mothers, father, a sister, a bit older than me, and I grew up and I love playing basketball. And that was my first passion. Always wanted to become a professional one.
Are you a big guy?
But
Are you tall?
on the court, I'm small. Outside the court, I'm tall. Like,
Uh,
what is it? Like, is 6'5"? Yes,
you're six.
192
Oh, you're six
centimeters.
five. Yeah.
Six
Okay. Yeah.
five.
You're.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Compared to a normal guy, you're good size.
yeah, I'm good. So that was my first passion. I'm still passionate. Like I wake up in the morning, I watch the NBA game or like a summary of it. That's how I start the day. So there's still I'm still fascinated by the game. Want to become a professional. Clearly failed in that perspective.
Did you play? So you
Although
play?
yeah.
Did you play in college?
So yeah, it's a bit different here. So you have like national teams. So I played the Belgium national team for under 21. So I was selected as the best player in Belgium when I was 14 years old, 15 years old. So high
Wow.
potential, but it never realized, Steve, unfortunately. Um, yeah, it didn't happen. I mean, for different reasons. I think we can have a podcast why I failed. But
uh,
but I learned a lot, and I feel that the things that I'm doing today are still kind of related to
you
to
know.
basketball. Like yeah.
How you played until what age? Competitively, you played until what age?
So competitively, till like I was 20, 21, and then
Okay.
typically in Europe, in Belgium, you have to go to college, and then you don't have those facilities. Like typically, college basketball is big in the US.
hmm
For
hmm
us, it's kind of a more difficult combination to.
Okay. You know, as a recruiter, anytime I see people that played college athletics or played through school or 4-year starter, especially Division 1 in the U.S. I'm not sure how it works in Belgium, but
Yeah,
um, it just tells me a lot of things about them. I mean, they're coachable, great teamwork, great work ethic, driven. I mean,
yeah,
all of it, right?
yeah. Very true. Yeah, yeah,
Uh, I think that there's a lot of signs that point towards somebody who can be successful as an employee if they were super competitive, and not necessarily just the sports, but anything, right? I mean, whatever
yeah,
their thing
exactly.
was, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Fully agree. Yeah.
what'd your dad do for a living?
Uh, an accountant.
That's why. Okay, so that's kind of, I see. I see. All right.
And my mother is a teacher, so
She was,
pretty
uh,
middle class environment. Nothing out
mm.
of the ordinary.
Were you a good kid or were you a straight A student? Were you a rebel? What kind of kid were you?
I was a pretty good kid. So I was hanging out with the bad guys, but I wasn't a bad guy.
I see. All right. Okay.
Um, I was kind of doing my my thing. So yeah, I was rather my sister was
Oh, she
the
was.
bad one. Yeah, she was the bad one. Yeah.
Is she
And
better now? Is she solid now or is she still out, still crazy?
yeah, no, unfortunately she's not there anymore. So I
I
lost
see.
my sister.
I see.
But she
Okay.
was the
Ooh,
bad one. Yeah, I
I
was
see.
yeah.
All
It's
right.
very opposite. Like I'm a diplomat. She was like direct conversation, like no bullshit.
I see. Okay.
Very, very
So
different.
you grew up in Belgium. How many languages do you speak?
Um, three, like I speak French, Dutch, and English. Um, like kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't
And
say
in
basic. Like
In Belgium, what do they speak? Dutch?
so, we have three official languages: German, Dutch, and French. So
I
I
see.
do speak a bit of German, but not strong enough to have a conversation like this. But I can help myself. Let's put it that way. But French,
You know,
English, Dutch, I
okay.
can maneuver uh, around those three languages.
If you're at a restaurant, somebody's speaking German and they're talking about you, you'd know.
I will pick it up. Yeah.
Okay, very good. And are you married, kids? What's your social status? What's your family status?
Married, like for a very long time. Um, you know, I have to think about this, Steve, but my wife wouldn't look at the recordings, but like 25 years, more than 25 years already.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Kids?
No kids. Yeah.
No kids. All right. All right. Very good.
Yeah.
What's your wife do?
So she's a humanitarian, worked for the International Committee of the Red Cross, traveled the world on assignment. So
Oh, wow.
she's a humanitarian,
Okay.
different field
Where's
than
she
I am.
from?
Originally Moroccan,
How'd you
but
meet her?
also grow up university. Yeah, as a university love.
Okay. All right. Very
Yeah.
good. So did you know what you wanted to do when you were playing basketball at 19, 20? Were you thinking I want to be an accountant like my dad? What was the plan?
Yeah, definitely not an accountant like my dad. That was not planned. Um, I was focused on becoming a professional that's what I wanted to do.
All right.
And then things went wrong. So when I went to university, because I was pushed, like you have to go to university, whatever, regardless if you play basketball or not. My parents pushed for education, so I took more like I studied sociology, international politics, more out of interest, and I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. Like no clue at all, and I always felt bad, like people who clearly know their path. Well, I'm gonna become a lawyer or whatever, accountant, teacher. No clue whatsoever. Yeah, no clue. I wanted to travel the world. That was a thing. But besides that, no clue.
Okay. What'd you get your bachelor's in? Your bachelor's degree?
So I've got the so I've got a master degree in sociology and
Okay.
international politics, and then I did also additional master in management and change leadership.
Okay. All right. And what were you going to do with that? Well,
So yeah, yeah, it's that's a good question. No clue. It's also not like the most. So I just choose it out of interest. Um,
okay.
and because of, if you look at sociology, it's like the group dynamic. So again, it's related to basketball, like how people behave in group, what makes, because I was fascinated, like why is one coach getting the best out of people, why another coach is not getting the best out of
Okay.
people. In
Okay.
certain teams, you don't have like top players. Still, we became champions and we won championships, and then
Hmm.
we had other teams you're in. You have this like superstars, and then still you don't win. So the whole dynamic around that fascinated me, and that's
Okay.
one of the reasons why I want to study yeah, sociology.
So sociology, management, people, studying
Uh,
people, their behaviors, all of it, the
yeah,
team, how teams
exactly.
interact. That was always fascinating for you. And that's how you got
Uh,
in early. That's how you kind of weaved your way into HR and talent and so forth in your jobs.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Very good. Okay. And good career, by the way. Great career, overall. So you're moving along. You're working for several different companies. You're continuing to
Yeah,
advance. You worked for PwC for what, a long time?
almost a decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And several different positions there in what, recruiting, talent, HR, all kinds of
So
all.
I was in the human capital division, so basically in management consulting, giving advice to our clients, both
I see.
public, private companies on human capital issues, HR issues, from strategy to execution, but a clear interest in leadership behavior. That's my passion. My passion is like what is good leadership? We can have a debate around that, of course. That's and how do we assess then those leaders, and how do we develop those leaders?
Okay. All right. Very good. So tell me how you left PwC and you joined, is it Mercer or the Talent Enterprise or Mercer bought what?
Confusing. Yeah, exactly. Mercer acquired the talent enterprise.
Mercer acquired the Talent Enterprise, and that's where so right now, do you say I work for Mercer? Is Mercer the parent company?
Getting there.
Because I was
Yeah.
trying to, because this morning I'm like, okay, when I'm getting ready for the interview, I'm like, now what's going on? Is this? I'm
Uh,
trying to figure this out. Well,
yeah. I was hesitating about the background because we have these Mercer backgrounds,
okay.
but I know. Let's just do no background. But yeah, I'm Mercer. Yeah, let's put it. Yeah, I'm
All right, but
Mercer.
the website is the talententerprise.com.
Yeah, or I don't know if it's now Talent Enterprise slash Mercer. I don't know exactly, but the
Well, I'm
Talent
looking at
Enterprise is.
what I'm looking at is the
Yeah,
talententerprise.com. I don't know. Maybe there's a different website. I don't know.
yeah, no, that's probably right. Yeah, they probably
Okay.
didn't integrate that part yet.
So for people that have no idea what we're talking about, tell us what is Mercer the Talent Enterprise? Give us the elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it. So basically, we measure behavior to predict future performance.
Okay.
That's it. As
All
simple
right.
as that. So basically, we need to understand what we measure, what success looks like in a person, in a leader, in talent, and then we can assess people and develop people towards that success profile. So typically, what we do is high potential programs, succession, um, that kind of stuff.
So you take a room full of director level people and you assess them, and then you tell the CEO which ones might be able to move up to VP someday.
Yeah, basically, yes. That's as simple as that. We're profilers, kind of like psychometrics, behavior metrics, like trying to understand behavior.
Okay. And how long does okay, so companies hire you to come in, tell me if I'm wrong. Companies hire you to come in, assess talent at different levels, and then tell the senior leadership who has the ability to maybe move to different spots or
Yeah,
move up or whatever.
exactly it. And that can be high potential programs, that can be succession, C-level, can be in all forms. It can be in an M&A, like company
I see.
A
I see.
acquires company B, but then okay,
Ah,
who's the best CFO? Then we come in typically.
I see. All right. So if Riderflex, if I bought another recruiting firm and there were like 15 recruiters over there, I could say, hey, Tom, tell me which one of those
Yeah.
recruiters are good or bad or
Uh,
have potential.
Yeah, exactly. But then, of course, I need to have a serious conversation with you first. Like, what do you need? What does
Yep.
success mean? So
Yep.
that's a very big piece of our job as well. Is understanding the business really well,
I
and
see.
then what makes someone successful within
Within the IC,
your
right, right,
recruitment company, and
right,
then
right,
and
right.
then we can go assess those 50 people and say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
these are the people you need to
So the
hire.
very first thing you have to do is figure out what the hell the company wants. Well, what is the company looking
Yeah,
for? What's the culture style? Where they're headed?
yeah,
What their goals are?
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
How long does it take you to assess? I don't know if that's the right word. How long does it take
yeah.
you to assess and grade this talent? Is it like over a certain time? Is it through testing? Is it through how do you? What's the magic there?
So it's a combination. It's always a balance between the being thorough in assessing, but of course, you don't want to spend 5 days in assessing someone because then it's not realistic. So you need to balance between time efficiency and robustness. But you want, I mean, the key is you want as many data points as possible. So if you get that success profile well defined and you've got the, let's say, leadership or behavioral competencies that makes you successful within your recruitment company, then we're gonna do a mapping and say, okay, what are the tools, exercises that we need to measure that? So for example, if I say like strategy is going to be super important to be successful in a position within a company.
Okay.
And we say, okay, how can we measure strategy? So you can say, okay, we have to do a business case, or we use a psychometric to see what's high level thing. Maybe we do some cognitive tools to see how well they recognize patterns or something. So that we have different data points to measure strategy, and that's how we build that. So we have our understanding of the what is the business need, then we distill like what we call competency framework, behavioral competency framework, for example, strategy. And then to measure those components, we have what we call an assessment matrix. And that can be psychometrics, can be cognitive, can be business case, can be role plays, can be group exercise, all those things, 360-degree feedback, whatever is available.
Let me ask you this. What if you were assessing my own team? Let's say I have 20 recruiters working at Riderflex, and
Yeah,
I wanted you to assess them. Now, but let's say all of them been working for me for 5 years, for 5 years or longer. I kind of already know who sucks and who's good, kind of, right? So I'm guessing you're not just telling me who produces results because I already see that. You're telling me who might be able to go from tactical to strategy, or from a
yeah,
soldier to a captain, or
yeah,
is that is that right?
exactly. Yeah. So who
Mm,
can be of your recruiters can go to the next and maybe manage a team of recruiters, which is different skill set. You can be
different skill
super
set. Yep.
high performer, top
Yep.
performer as a
That's right.
recruiter, and you start managing people, and it goes wrong. So
Hmm.
then we need to understand what makes that successful, and then of course we give. But that's also pure assessment. So we do also a lot of development, like giving them insights for like,
Uh-huh.
here is your report. You're a recruiter. That's what you're good at. These are your strengths, but maybe you need to develop certain parts to become even better than you are. So it's more from
Okay.
a development point of view. It's not
Do
always
you do you stay and
control.
implement? Do you stay and implement and develop and train and coach, or you just give the reports and then let the companies take care of it?
We do the second. If we have a clear understanding, we do also developing, coaching, leadership programs, etc. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Who's your target audience or who's your target client within industries or size of companies? Like, who are you targeting?
So we typically target the larger companies, or here in Dubai, also a lot of government institutions, or in the Middle East, a lot of public government, but also typically we here have oil and gas is big, but larger companies, they
Okay.
typically use our services.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. How often are you wrong?
I, I am sometimes right, Steve. It's not like I always say like it. Listen, we help increase the probability that you hire the right people, you
I
know.
got you. Yeah.
But of course, it's not. It's you'd never have it like 100%
Now, is this
right.
well? Now we talked about assessing current employees. So this is also for hiring assessments for hiring talent.
Can be, yeah.
What percentage of your business is current employee assessment versus
We
potential?
do a bit more on the current
I
employers
see.
more
I
than
see.
on the hiring.
I see. Okay. How big is the company? I don't know if you can share like what, how many
Yeah, of
employees?
course.
What's, yeah,
So we are 70 Talent
70.
Enterprise, not Mercer. Yeah,
So
Mercer
there
much
is
more.
there, I see. What was Mercer a professional services or a consulting firm?
Yeah,
Is that
HR consultancy. Yeah,
HR
Mercer
consult?
is
I see.
part. Yeah, yeah,
Is there a merger in motion? Is that the deal? Is there an acquisition
yeah, yeah.
in?
So acquisitions is already taken place. So
It's already taken place. I see.
yeah, and
It,
out of this, maybe that's also important. It's to know that out of the 70 people, you have also a lot of like you have psychometricians, yeah, but you have also a lot of data scientists because you get a lot of data. And we have also a big on technology team because of course we try to use the latest technology. We try to AIs. I need to be a bit careful in using AI in what we're doing
let's go. Let's talk
because
about that in a minute. Yeah,
yeah,
I want to go down that path. But
yeah.
uh,
But there's a lot of technology. There's a lot of data science behind what we're doing.
did you work for Talent Enterprise or Mercer, or did you join after the merger?
I joined Talent Enterprise because I know the founders really well. They're two very inspirational people, so I joined them, and then they were acquired. But they told me up front, so I knew it. There's no surprise.
I was just about to ask you, like,
I know they're very transparent.
they told you, hey, an acquisition is forthcoming, is
It's
coming.
in the making. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now it's interesting. I can only imagine. So at Talent Enterprise, you got a team of people that assesses people.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're like, hey, you guys are going to buy us, but listen, we need to assess you and run you through all this testing to make sure.
Yeah, they didn't do that. Luckily.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's pretty good. Okay. All right, good. So you had a friend, you knew somebody that recruited you over to Talent Enterprise. Is that what happened?
So I had so I worked in the Middle East back in 2012 in a for a competitor. So before PwC called Cubics at the time, was acquired by Talogy in the meat. It's like there's a lot of things moving in our market. And I worked with uh, so I had a colleague when I was there, and she moved to Talent Enterprise. And I also was connected with the two founders of the Talent Enterprise.
I see.
So we kept contact all the time. And at a certain point, I was actually was on a business trip to Dubai for PwC, and now you know how it goes, right? Let's
I
have a
got you.
coffee and let's have a discussion, and then that's why I moved to the beginning of this
Do
year.
you like living in Dubai?
I do, yeah. I mean, I'm happy the summer is over and it's getting kind of like not even say normal temperatures, but it's getting you can go outside.
Does
I
the
had my
country
lunch.
does it get
I
super
had my
hot?
lunch outside. It's that super hot, Steve. So like July, August, you just cannot go out.
Really?
Impossible. Like you're standing there for 2 minutes and you're all sweaty, so you don't want to. So I had my first lunch outside today, but still 35 degrees, 36 degrees. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but
Celsius.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I got you. Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. All right. Does your wife like living in Dubai?
I hope so. Yeah,
Uh,
no, she likes it. It's a very convenient life, very
you,
international as well.
you've been to a lot of different countries, right? I mean, you've been all over the world, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of places. Yeah.
What's your favorite? If you could retire tomorrow and move anywhere on planet Earth, where would you go?
A very good question. Um, Probably Mediterranean
Ah,
country.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's I could see that.
So yeah, or Greece, but maybe I'm influenced now because I was watching this Netflix series. I don't know, Maestro or something. And it's like on a Greek island. So I
Oh.
felt like, doesn't look that bad. It's like I could easily retire here.
Uh,
But Mediterranean is I like the Mediterranean Sea, the
yeah,
countries around it.
okay. All right. Good choice. Yeah, I could see that. All right, very good.
Yeah,
So
food wise.
you've been in HR and of course I've been hiring. I'm like you. I've been
Yeah,
hiring and interviewing people for
I can imagine.
a long
Yeah.
time. A long time.
Yeah.
You've seen it all, right? We've seen. I mean, almost nothing phases us right now, does it?
Yeah.
Uh, across other parts of the world, Gen Z in the U.S. They get picked on a lot because of their work ethic or their lack of work ethic or their perceived lack of work ethic. I don't even know if it's real, but that's the that's what you hear. And
Yeah.
they don't stay in jobs very long, and they don't really, the work ethic's not as good as maybe Gen X. Is that A, is that true? And B, do you see that across other countries, in your opinion?
So yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I see. I think there's sometimes this generation device. I'm not sure what to think about. I mean, probably there's some truth about it, but I think there's also a lot of similarities between different generations. I worked like typically at PwC, you work with very young graduates, they hire like a lot of young graduates. And also here at Mercer Talent Enterprise, you have a lot of young people with like very high work ethics, very eager. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, I see
Okay.
very young people, Gen Z, are working really hard, very
M-
engaged, very
Maybe
invested.
maybe I'm just picking on them. Maybe I'm just picking on them. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, we have to pick someone, but
Let's
yeah,
let's talk about AI right now. By the way, we're recording this on October 1st, 2024. The AI and the tech advancement is,
hmm,
is all in the news, right? It's the hot topic right now.
yeah.
What's it going to do to the workforce? What's it going to do to jobs? A lot of predictions, a lot of stories. I guess my first question for you is, and we can talk about it for hours, I'm sure. Where are you on the are you got the doomsdayers over here that say AI and robots are going to take over all the jobs. So you
Hmm,
got this all the way over to one side, and then you got the other side that's like, it's going to be fine, and we'll figure it out,
yeah.
and that's all bullshit. And so you got these two camps. Like where are you, Tom, in your vision right now, is from what you can see?
Um, it's very nuanced, I guess. It's fascinating. I think first of all, so when I look at my area, my field, my expertise, what's going on there, it's really fascinating. And
Hmm.
you could answer the question, does because I'm a profiler, assessor, whatever you want to call it, are I gonna be replaced by an algorithm? Question mark. Probably. Where in the future, I don't know. Because these algorithms are going to be probably better than humans because we also, we're full of biases, even if we're very aware of it. Even as a professional assessor, you still have biases. You just are probably more aware of that. So if I do think on the long term, it do can improve in what we're doing. I do feel now we want to go sometimes too fast because it is not reliable yet. It is not valid yet. And still, companies want to be fancy and use AI in their recruitment while it's not it's not proven yet. So it's kind of fascinating. I think we have to be very careful on the on the ethical side of things, definitely in our business, like um, I don't know if you're aware, but like they did some, so AI figured out that to be successful, you need to be a man because, yeah, I mean, most men are in higher positions. So, so the IA will tell you, yeah, Steve, you have more chance than your wife, or I'm not sure So it kind of accelerate discrimination.
Mm.
So we need to be very careful in moving forward.
Do you think it's going to eventually eliminate a lot of white collar laptop jobs? And there'll be, you got very smart people on the planet saying, you got Sam Altman and Elon Musk and a bunch of other people saying there will be universal basic income and a lot of people won't work.
Uh,
Eventually they won't work. Do you see that? Do you see the same thing, or what? Any predictions?
I, so I don't believe in that. Uh,
No?
I still so very. I'm using AI in my job. Using uh, certain AI tools that helps you in being more efficient, but still it kind of facilitates your work. But you still need to have an eye. You need to still think about what you're going to present, what you're going to write. Um, so I think it will shift certain tasks that will become obsolete,
Okay.
but you still need that. You need the empathy, you need creativity, you need innovation, you need social interaction. I still believe that it's going to become more important probably than making Excel sheets, or I don't know what. So
Okay,
does that
so
really play
so
a role?
so what I hear you saying, what I understand you saying is no, it's not going to eliminate a bunch of jobs and things are going to be fine. Is that your stance?
It's yeah, I'm not sure I'm so firm in my stand because I don't have a crystal ball. So I'm always saying, but I don't. It's gonna shift some work and it's gonna move. Uh, I mean, you're gonna shift, and new jobs are coming, and some jobs are gonna disappear. Yeah, for sure. But I don't think in the grand scheme of things that a lot of people now gonna lose their jobs. Maybe I'm optimistic, naive sometimes, but I prefer to be naive and optimistic rather than pessimistic.
And I think most people want to believe that. I think most people want to say those words. I think most people want to be optimistic because it feels safer and it feels better.
Yeah,
Uh,
maybe.
uh, and so I get that answer because I asked the same question to most people coming on the show lately, and that's kind of how most people answer. And then my thought is, okay, so Ray Kurzweil and Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Mustafa Solomon and you know a bunch of other very smart people on planet Earth are predicting the opposite. And so I'm thinking, okay, so we're smarter than those guys? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
These
want to
guys
pretend I'm smarter, but that's not the
are
thing. But there is some, yeah, who can tell? I mean, who
yeah.
can pretend that they know?
Huh?
I mean, of course, it's easy to make bold statement.
I'm not trying to pin you down or anything. I think in general, tell me if you think this is wrong. You're a profile. You're almost like an FBI profiler.
Yeah, okay, put it that way.
What was that? What was that series I watched? Mindhunter or something like that. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember.
yeah. I saw that one. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
with the serial killer. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So this is how I feel that the average person on the planet is kind of thinking right now. This is my perception. Okay, let's just say the
Yeah,
average, right? The bulk average.
yeah, yeah. So
I
you call
think
me average, Steve. Yeah. I'm middle class average.
Sorry. I don't mean to be bolting you in
That's
the
fine.
adding you
My
there.
my
But
ego is in check.
but I
Yeah.
feel I
No,
just I feel like there's this uh slight uneasiness, this uneasy kind of a little cautious, scared, like, holy shit, what's going on here? Like, oh, this could actually cause a lot of major changes. And everybody kind of knows it's there. You can kind of hear the bear over in the forest walking around and you can hear him and you're like, I think there's a bear over there. But everybody just wants to sit around the campfire and drink beer and have a good time and pretend like they don't hear the bear over there. Like it's gotta be fine. It's gotta be fine.
it doesn't
But
have to be a bear, you know.
I
It can be an, I don't know which animal is
a
nice
friendly animal.
and
You think
goes
it could be a
in the
friendly
forest.
animal. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can
Yeah.
invite them around the campfire, can sing along.
Okay, good one. Okay, good comeback. But yeah, I guess my point is I was trying to create a good analogy. I think everybody senses change is coming.
Ah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
That's
change is coming. And I think people are hoping for the best. I think people are optimistic and saying, hoping like it's going to be okay. I think it's going to be okay. But secretly, I think there's a lot of people like, oh man, I don't know. Because let me give you a perfect example. Uh, the very first time I used Chat GPT, for Chat GPT 4, okay, when Chat GPT 4 launched, and I spent a couple of hours on it, I remember I called my co-founder and I was like, holy fuck. I was like, I think the world might have just changed. Because it can do a lot of things that I used to pay people to do. I don't know. I mean, uh, so anyway, I'm
for
not,
sure. I mean,
yeah, I'm not sure either. By the way, I asked these questions and I asked them like I have the answer and I don't have the answer either, you know. But I do think change is coming. I think it's important to pay attention. That's the part that gets on my nerves, Tom, is the people that kind of have their head in the sand and they're kind of they're like pretending like change isn't coming, or they're pretending like there's not gonna, like, all this is not going on, and they're not paying attention, or they haven't used a large language model, and they're just kind of, you know hiding behind the curtain. It's like that part. I'm like, no, you need to pay attention, you need to be
yeah, but
aware.
I can only agree. So there's a certainty, and that is like change is going to be exponential. That's for sure. So you cannot put your head down. You have to look at it and see what are the opportunities here. And there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, self-driving cars. I cannot wait.
Me too.
Self-driving cars. Like people stop yelling at each other, and yeah. So and I can just read the newspaper while I'm
Oh,
driving my car.
me too, totally.
I'm not driving, so there's a lot of things. ChatGPT. I had the same. I was like, wow, this is impressive. It's gonna change. That's for sure. So there are fascinating things coming our way that we need to embrace. Look at opportunities. How we can integrate it in our work. Um, but yeah,
What happens to recruiting? I mean, they already have there's so many AI tools. I mean, the self video interviews that candidates are doing, the testing, the assessments.
a
The
lot
AT
going on.
the ATS already grades the resume. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
the front part, the whole front part of recruiting, right? The assessments, the grading of the resumes, the initial screening, like that is almost already all taken over by AI and robotics. Now, there's still the human part on the backside, but boy, the front half of the process has already been.
no.
What do you think
So
happens to recruiting long term?
but just for the anecdote, so I thought with when was LinkedIn when did LinkedIn start? Because I was thinking like executive search going to be over.
Mm, good point.
Why do you need them? You just go on LinkedIn, you find your, I don't know, new finance director or whatever in that industry, and you got your names, you give them a call and a hop. Why do you need executive search? And executive search is still there. Recruitment companies are
Good
still
point.
there.
Good
So,
point. Good point.
so, so, but in our, there's a lot of going on. Even, but it's also dangerous. I don't know if you know the Eon story, where, like it happened in you, for example, or the higher view. You know, when you like a video interview, and then
Uh-huh.
it's
Yeah.
the way you speak, your tone of voice,
Yep. It's
your
already happened. Yep. Yep.
non-verbal that was
Hmm.
analyzed and given a profile.
Yep.
Um, and that was a big backlash for the company because it was not valid, it was not reliable, and so they got
Interesting.
a lot of
Mm,
claims that so
mm.
it's not ready yet. Now, of course, the amount of data will only increase.
Yeah.
So the more data, the better predict you can do. But because I think if you analyze your Facebook or your all your social media, and pretty interesting to see what reports comes out of that one. Uh, but there's more going on. It's not only AI. I was fascinated, and that's 10 years ago, Steve. So there's a company called Brain Compass, and they will, for your recruiters, for example, they will see what kind of salespeople you have. Is it more a hunter type or more an account based on your saliva? So you had to spit in a little thing they analyze. So it's but like physics, chemistry,
Are you
and,
serious?
and I'm very serious. 10 years ago. So you can imagine what kind of amount of data they now collected in and still existing. So that means
Wow.
companies are using it.
Wow.
And and the guy who was the founder, nothing to do with our business. He was a like PhD in I don't know what chemistry or whatever. He founded that. So it's not only
Those are
AI. There's a lot of things.
biotech. The biotech.
Biotech. Yeah, imagine do an interview and you have full of I don't know, just making things up here, but like on their scanner brain,
No,
and
yeah.
you're just like
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Johnny, look, we don't have any interview questions. All we need is a hair sample, and you need to spit in this little tube. That's it.
yeah, exactly. You go under a scanner
Uh,
and then you come out. Here we have your profile. You're no good
oh
for
my
CEO
God, it's so
position.
good. It's so
So
good.
it's not only AI. There's a lot
Uh,
of technology that coming. That's
we didn't
happening.
even. By the way, we didn't even talk about robotics. I mean, uh, the trade skills. It's interesting, right? The white collar jobs are a little nervous right now because of AI. The skilled trades, they're feeling confident right now. They're feeling
Uh,
like powerful. The
yeah,
software engineers are scared, and the plumbers are feeling cocky, right?
yeah,
Basically, which is fascinating. But
yeah.
well, I watched the interview with Brett Adcock, the CEO of Figure AI, the robotics company Figure. He was interviewed by oh gosh, what's his name? Anyway, I'll think of it in just a second.
Mm,
But Peter something. Anyway,
mm,
and you've seen the Figure One robot, right? Where he hands the dish, he hands the guy the apple. You've seen the whole thing.
yeah,
And so I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, the skilled trades guys, they feel confident right now, but hey, 30 years from now, they might be in trouble too.
exactly. Yeah, it's like the developers, like they felt comfortable, and then yeah, AI will develop for you. No need for developers anymore. Forget
Oh,
about
dude.
that job.
By the way, speaking of recruiting, this is what I'm going to pick on software developers and software engineers. Okay,
Mm,
so 2019, well, let's call it, well, from 2016 to 2021, software engineers were the cockiest people to try to recruit, right?
yeah.
They were in super high demand. They thought they were, all
They became
that
arrogant.
super arrogant, all this stuff. And now all of a sudden, they're the ones in trouble and getting laid off and can't find.
Yeah.
By the way, software engineer hiring is down like 60%. That's the stat I read.
Yeah, okay, I'm not surprised. But you
Yeah.
need sociologists. You need sociologists. For the for the interfacing, these are more important. They can become arrogant now.
Exactly.
So
But why did I start picking on them? Well, I can't remember. Oh, but anyway, I guess my point is, with
Gen
you,
Z software developers,
they're in
they're the
trouble.
worst.
If I, they're in
So,
trouble. They're in trouble. If I had, my kids are grown, but if I had an 18-year-old kid graduating high school and he said, "Oh, I want to go study computer science and be a software engineer," I'd say no. I'd say no, not a good idea. You gotta, I think people need to be making career decisions based on what, look ahead and try to uh,
yeah.
make good decisions because it's a changing landscape. But anyway,
Yeah.
so all right. So anyway, we're talking about AI. So back to, let's wrap it up with what we have left with talking about Mercer slash Talent Enterprise. Um, is it super expensive, Tom? I mean, are you only mid cap to large companies can afford you? Basically, that's the target, right? I mean, small companies probably not.
Uh, depends if they're willing to pay for us, Steve.
Uh,
And it all depends. I think we can deliver these services, but typically like big succession programs are done by
okay.
large multinationals or governments.
Any specific industry you're targeting?
No specific industry focus as such. No, because at
Okay.
the end of the day, we're more on the behavioral side of things. So the industry, although it's good to know the industries or the business as such, so it helps. I think we're moving more towards industry focus, but there's no specific.
Okay. Where do you have
Mm.
offices or where do you have teams? All in different countries?
Yeah, so we have Mercer all over the world, basically globally. But we have offices in Riyadh, Saudi, Dubai, India. Um, that's it.
Okay. Lighthouse is the software. Is that the deal? Or the
Sorry?
is Lighthouse
Yeah,
by
Lighthouse. So Lighthouse is our technology platform. It's our assessment platform. So
I see.
that's the core, that's the heart.
Okay.
So that's where the technology kicks in.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said Talent Enterprise was like 70 people. Is Mercer's much bigger? I apologize that I don't know. Is Mercer
Yeah. I apologize that I don't know. I think it's like 20,000, but I'm not even sure. Yeah,
Wow.
it's
I mean,
more like
that's
it's
a
like
big
big one. Yeah,
I
it's the
mean,
biggest HR consultancy for
oh, see, I should know that. I guess
uh,
shame on me for not knowing that. But so for Mercer to buy Talent Enterprise, I mean, that's a big change for the Talent Enterprise founders, right? You go from
yeah.
50,
So
60
this
people to Mercer. That's a huge change.
it is a huge change. Yeah.
Hmm. Did the founders
Yeah.
did they cash out? Are they gone? Or they stuck around?
Still here. Yeah, still here. Yeah.
How when was the merger?
So I started here in January, and I think the official signing was in April.
Okay, I keep saying merger. I mean acquisition. I'm sure Mercer
Yeah.
acquired. Yeah. Um, okay, very good. Yeah, well, they probably did a 1 year ride along or whatever kind of deal they signed. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. You knew you were going to work for Mercer though when you signed up.
Yeah. I knew.
You, you knew. Okay. All
It was
right.
a bit mixed because I wanted to move. Actually, I wanted to move from a big organization, PwC, with a lot of red tape, bureaucracy, towards like a small, more agile, more flexible, more entrepreneurship.
Yeah, but now you're back into
Back to square one, Steve. But I mean, at the end of the day, Mercer HR is the core business, while PwC, of course, is it's much more wider. And at the end of the day, it's an accounting firm. Although AI in accountancy is also an interesting thing, that accounting job might also be kind of in danger, if you ask
you
me.
think I mean yes.
Uh,
Yes. Hey, listen, here's
so
the here's the, here's the deal. Marketing agencies and accounting firms. I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Danger.
Exactly.
I see cloudy skies. I can have Chat GPT do a spreadsheet for me in seconds. Like I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Accounting and marketing agencies
Mm.
might want to go to
Yeah.
plumbing. Might want to go to plumbing school.
That would be a good idea. I mean, in Belgium, you can earn a lot of money doing plumbing. I can guarantee you that. I'm not sure about if you have to fix the toilet. That's not a lot of fun, I guess. But yeah,
Electricians and plumbers. They're king right now.
they are. They are.
Tom, good. Hey, fun conversation. Anything else, Matt? Do we need to highlight anything else? I think it's the talententerprise.com. I don't know
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Are you accepting people on LinkedIn? If Tom Verboven, if they want to,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
they can connect with you there. Good looking guy. See the,
Happy to do so. Yeah.
Tom, thank you for being on the Riderflex show and sharing your thoughts. I appreciate it.
It was a pleasure, Steve.